his guitar stings for like surf music, just that,
Yeah.
but it's in like a minor key.
Oh God, that would be horrific.
It's
Um,
church. It's church organs.
and then we will cut back to you, Crow, as Lily's fist fall kind of like flat against your back, and then she will just kind of shout, "What did you do to Agatha?"
Um, he is going to give her one of his mean looks that says, "Stop talking."
Yeah, she will. There'll be one last hit, almost despite that, but then you'll feel her kind of go slack in your arms as she kind of continues looking forward and asks, "Did you kill her?"
"'Tis up to the tides."
Yeah, she will let that be, and she continues, almost kind of taking her attention off you. Her eyes will turn towards the water, expecting at any moment for her friend to emerge, but you just kind of continue along your path. And where are you headed?
I don't know the rendezvous. I wasn't in
Yep.
charge of this plan. I go where.
No,
I go where
no,
they
that's
told me.
cool. I just want to be sure. I wanted to ask just to
I
be
stop
sure. I
out of
don't
the
know if
bay
you.
and I huck her into the ocean. This is all for fun.
This is my new thing. I like throwing shit in the water.
That was
I didn't know
a
if
lot
you were
of
looking
fun.
for Rostavon or something. Okay. In
I
that
might
case,
do my due diligence.
yeah. Okay. If you spend a moment to look for him, I will allow you to do so to not belabor a point.
Okay, I'll follow down the waterway then to where it seemed he terminated.
Yeah, and you'll see him kind of laying flat against one of the docks.
Thou survived.
Good of you to notice.
I offer my free hand to help him up.
Alright, I take it. Don't psych me.
Psych! Back in the canal.
Shit.
All right,
Sploosh.
then roll gets a +3.
Yeah, let me do the whole thing where I climb up again. It's like failing a quick time event. I gotta do it again. He'll take it and very slowly stand after he realizes that's the hand that's connected to the arm, that's connected to the shoulder, that's connected to the clavicle. It's broken.
Yeah.
I yank really hard to break it further.
Oh. Did you get the kid?
I gesture her in the other arm.
Oh yeah, that's her. All right. Let's.
Should return before the zealot pursues.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, you can make your way towards those darkened streets, which kind of are a bit more elevated, so a lot of the water starts draining away at this point. It all kind of flows past you, and it makes it a bit more difficult. You have to take your time, make sure you don't slip, but step by step, you eventually arrive kind of in that forgotten hallway. Lily, for her part, will just kind of look left and right and say, "This isn't where the Sart live. Who are you?"
I'll call out for. What was
Michael Corrigan.
the boy king's name? Michael Corrigan?
Yeah.
Michael Corgan.
There will be kind of like at the gate. It'll be firmly locked, but you will hear the sounds of all of that being undone. As eventually the wood is pushed out and begins to swell with the rain that pours upon it. And Michael will be there waiting, just kind of grinning. He'll say, "Good to see you. All three of you. Come on in."
I go in.
Yeah. Lily will say over your shoulder, "Michael Corrigan, I know your name." That's not what we're here to talk about. It won't make a difference. She'll just kind of like pout on your shoulder as you are led deeper and deeper into a building, which seems to be a series of tenement kind of housing. If you look upwards, there's a central clearing that is, again, just kind of pouring down rain, but you see some simple gardens here. And you see Michael, who begins to climb up a few stairs, eventually arriving at a third floor apartment, which he opens the door to allow you all in.
Yeah, I hand the child off at the soonest opportunity to a different handler.
Yeah. He will just kind of like push her in a bit more. And as you guys file into the room, you can see that it's fairly sparse. There's only really a fire and a stool in the center, and kind of an old-looking man who is attending to it. As you push your way deeper into the room, you realize that the wooden stool that sits in the center of the room is grimly lit by candlelight, and that there are a dozen nails that have been driven into the seat of the chair, with their sharpened edge pointing upwards. So kind of just like an exposed nail bed seat that seems to be sitting in the middle of the room. But you will hear Michael's voice from behind say, "Milton, bring us the good chair. We can keep this one here just in case Millie misbehaves." And he will just kind of like nod. The old man will reach for a much more hospitable chair, which he will slide again into the center of the room. And
About half as many nails are sticking up on this one.
Milton brings out a chair with individual scorpions nailed to each inch of it. And it's still alive.
only one of these is poisonous.
Only one, we won't tell you which.
And he will just kind of push Millie into it. And there will be a little kind of vignette where he is standing, the old man is leaning against the wall, not wanting to sit in the really fucked up chair, just kind of like eyeing it.
I'll sit on it. My God, you bunch of babies.
Roll physique 4. You're the toughest fucker anyone's ever seen. They'll write songs about you. And there'll just be kind of like a moment as the rain washes against the windows, and Michael looks over at Lili. He will say, "You trade for a living. Bet there isn't a trinket you couldn't get the price of. How much do you think your life's worth? What do you want? Your source. Business has been very good for the Morton family, but nowhere good enough to afford the toys you've been carrying. You seem very confident of that. I am. So stop wasting time. Tell me what I want to know, and we can figure out what your ransom should be." Millie will just kind of like turn her head up and say, "There is no source, or even a secret. My mother knows how to earn her crowns, same as me. You should have realized that before kidnapping the daughter of a merchant officer." And Michael will just kind of stand up straighter, kind of chewing his cheek for a moment, before he will look over to the two of you, who he had assumed could kind of be a bit more threatening, maybe to help him crack this nut.
I'm wrist deep in a white cheddar popcorn bag, and
Dang.
I'm crinkling it as loud as I can.
Aw.
As usual, since I know that Rostavan has a much higher provoke than me, I'm going to confer the big aspect the advantage I created, the suspicious wealth aspect, with 2 free invocations. He's going to lean over and say,
Talk of the Bay. Income suspicious. Not right.
Suspicion. Jealousy. But she will just like that aspect now exists that you can kind of press. Those who have nothing always want something. They just don't work for it.
Amidst his injuries, he's going to try to call him out on that with, yeah, I guess it will be a provoke towards her, and just be like, yeah, but it depends what kind of work is being done for it.
She has a will of 2.
And I will use one of those invocations.
Which will put us even. Not having a good night. Okay.
Whoa! Okay, there it is. Very nice. I mean, that's success with style, so, I mean, really, what do you do to kind of intimidate? Like, what is the visual here?
Rastavan is still sopping wet, not just from his dip, but also the rain, which he hates. And he will just, he'll just point a finger at her, and all the water droplets that were on him are going to steam up again and sort of fill up towards the top of the roof.
Yeah, the room will immediately intensify in heat. It will be like humid and then just dry as you completely kind of like suck the air out of this space. And even the kind of frill on Lily's hat will begin to kind of crimple under the heat. And leaning a bit backwards, she will just say, "Eloise Fitzroy, the master of coin. She delivered the crowns herself." And that seems to like kind of pique Michael's interest when he says, "The Duke's trusted banker." That's who you're talking about. Why would he do that? You pay a tithe to the monarchy. You're not a charity case. And then she will just kind of wince a bit and say, "Because the coins are fake, no matter how real they look. The master of coin is pushing fake crowns on a merchant officer. You expect me to believe that? It's the truth, whether you believe it or not." He will just kind of like really give that a minute. Before looking at the two of you and just kind of nodding back towards the door and the terrace outside.
I take his invitation and leave. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both don't get social cues, so we sit there.
Crow very much has the air of someone like checking his watch to leave the party, but at continual invitations, he gets like goaded along and just lurches out the door to see what the fuck this guy has to say now.
Yeah. Good.
So I do the same.
Perfect.
Stole my thing.
He does not open with words. Instead, he reaches into his vest and comes away with 2 independent sacks of
I pull my gun and shoot him.
crowns.
Oh, it's just
yeah.
sacks.
He presses 4 crowns worth of profits into both of you. He will say plainly, "That's good money well earned. And if she's telling the truth, there's a lot more of it. You interested?"
I'm done here.
"You're done. We were just told that the Duke's own Minister of Coin has a mint. Who knows? Maybe even has the, God, what would it be? The plates for crowns. You don't have to make money, you can print money."
Disregard which. Have better individual.
"Someone who likes making money," he'll say, just kind of like frowning at Rastavan.
Yeah, there's a long comedic shot on Crow's beleaguered eyes as he says,
Good. Good. Because if what she said is true, it's going to be a bit complicated. We're going to have to get across the sea to the Parliament.
I perk up.
Then we're going to have to talk to Miss Eloise Fitzroy. If she doesn't have the plates, she'll know where to find them.
He puts a hand up and says,
Business concluded.
Yeah, for now, he'll say, like, just trying to get a gauge of you.
Parlay again. Later.
All right. He'll just kind of look back at the door and say, I won't be here next time, but I'll find you.
Crow says,
Where willest thou be?
He thinks for a moment and says, we move around a bit. But if you need to get in contact with me, you know that wall? Your initiation?
Aye.
Draw a C on it with chalk.
Let's see.
Yeah, for Corrigan. He says as if it was just like the easiest thing.
Okay.
Duh!
yeah, for Michael.
Anyway, by the way, pal, there was an Imperial after that girl, so you might want to ditch her.
What?
Yeah, that's why I can barely move my arm that I desperately need to get looked at right now.
You need to get far away from here.
That's what I've been trying to do.
I mean from the port.
Again, same thing.
Well, how fast can you move?
What day are we at in terms of waiting for this Huckster's ship
tomorrow will
to
be
be
the-
fixed up?
Tomorrow will be the last day, and then the following morning you'll be ready to go.
Crow will enter negotiations, say.
36 hours. Bound for Parliament.
That's gonna be hard. Find a dark place and stay there. That's my advice.
Real quick, because I don't know if if Declan is misremembering this or if Crow is doing a bluff. We don't have access to Parliament yet. I have to complete part of a side quest to make that happen.
Untold number of hours bound for
I don't remember how this
Yeah.
shit works.
Yeah.
It's alright. 36, you'll be gone in 36 hours. He just wants you off the Port of the Nameless, is what he's saying. So,
In that case, I'm not appraising him of my destination, so I have no information for him. So my response is to eyeball him and then quietly walk out.
yeah. He will kind of turn into the door and say, Imperials, need to make preparations. And he will move into the door and shut it behind him, leaving you two kind of descending this tournament complex.
Ouch. Alright, let's get out of here.
Alright. In that case, I'm going to let the other two players in on this at this point.
No. Why don't we just we'll keep going. We'll see them through to this next part of the mission.
We're going to head to the Quiplash part as
Yeah.
Crow
I
and
do-
Rostavan. You are able to find your way to Rakote's chambers if that's what you wish.
I'd like to start another side quest that doesn't involve these two for us to focus on.
I can't.
Well, I think
Yes-
that we can
yes,
still
I
do
am.
the Quiplash episode. I think that's really
I'm not
important.
going to do that. I'm going to need to make that clear.
Both Crow and Rostavan, I'm going to need you to give me a stealth.
Because we're waiting with guns loaded.
Do you have any?
Okay. No,
All right, fine.
No.
a fire guy.
Okay, nice. You do not increase. We're gonna get into a new mechanic here that's pretty easy, but you did avoid making your situation much worse for yourself. So good news there. As both Crow and Rostavan, under the cover of the rain, you're able to find your way to safety without running into any others on your way. I'm eventually finding the large vaulted kind of warehouse that Rakote's boat is kept within.
I enter like I own the place.
I stagger in. Who's that here?
You enter into a darkened hangar. The Anaphyli floats, and there's some lantern light on it. And at this point, any of you guys, Pale Lady, Rakote, you can get in on this however you want, or not at all. It's up to you.
Did Mac ever come back in, or what did you do after you killed that nice man that was going to turn his life around and finally be the parent that his kids needed?
Yeah, he is not going to do that. I have to decide whether I actually want to pursue Carl Linnaeus or not.
Romantically?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Is he down?
there.
It is roughly 1 a.m. by the time you could leave.
Okay, yeah, we don't do that then. She will just return home. And is it still raining?
Oh yeah.
So she brings the rain in with her. When you guys step in, there's just a trail of water having been brought in from outside, where the the puddles have started to spill in, and the Pale Lady has brought them in on her natural cape. And she is just kind of standing in the darkness. Her eyes kind of glint off of the light that's brought in from the outside as you approach. It's unclear how long she's been standing here.
Crow pays no attention to these facts and points to Rostavan and says,
Sal for the witch.
Oh, that's not my sheet. That's the Imperial's sheet. It was me the whole time.
oh my god, that's where she went this whole time. She was in disguise.
I wasn't
shit.
discovered.
She's
Big
like
character reveal.
Red X, yeah. Like,
The Pale Lady will approach and look you over, Rostavan, and say, "What has happened?"
Rostavan is reaching for his right clavicle and is like poorly trying to hold up his arm, his right arm, with his left, in like a makeshift like cast kind of thing, trying to alleviate any pressure he's putting on it. He's just going to say, some dude punched me pretty hard. A lot harder than most people do.
She'll,
Really hurts.
Alright, let's see. I'm going to... what severity is it, just for my clarification?
Moderate.
Moderate, so I need at least a 4. Nope. No. Wow. Now the question is...
Great rolls tonight, huh? Goddamn.
Yeah. I'm gonna need to try to do something to help make myself an advantage here. So I think for now this is going to... I'm just gonna let this fail. And she will... After looking you over for, like, physical wounds, like, you know, things that could, like, cuts or scrapes, she'll realize that you're holding, like, your clavicle, and she'll start obtrusively, like, kind of prodding at it with her fingers, which, of course, is very unpleasant. And she will, having kind of pulled out one of her vials, say, "Oh, this will be far more difficult to mend. I will need to find something different."
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Perhaps the captain can help. There are plenty of fish in the sea near here.
Fish?
She'll kind of hold up her salve, expectantly.
Oh. Alright. I need to find a bed.
Yes, laying down and taking pressure off the wound will alleviate some of the pain.
I look forward to it. Where's a bed?
There are a number of bunks and hammocks all present in the Anaphyli. That is the only real bedding here. The warehouse is all but empty.
All right, I'm gonna walk the plank onto the Anaphyli then and find me a bed somewhere that's the least soiled. Because as we all know, the people
No.
Rakote recruits all mess their beds.
Yeah.
That was kind of a requirement of all of them to join the crew.
Rakote kept asking a lot about your continence. Very impressed. You haven't
do you have a
pooped your
checklist?
pants once. This is incredible.
Dave, for my clarification, is Rakote here, or have I just not? I've like literally. I imagine I walked in not very long before the others
Yeah,
did.
honestly, if you've all come in, unless you came in very very stealthily with intent to full metal jacket Rakote in his bed. He'd have been up in the captain's quarters on the Anaphyli, probably writing by candlelight. So upon hearing that people have entered, you'll see his shadow illuminated against whatever far wall there is first. Just that grotesque silhouette as he creaks his way out to see who's come home.
Yeah, the pale lady will look up as if she summoned you, and she will say, man, what? I guess I'm trying to think if she
He
knows
says-
Rostavan's name.
He says, "Ah,"
That's it.
and then you hand it to me to make something with that.
I mean, you probably
Cricket.
heard it. Rakote says my name all the time.
Yeah, that's fair. She will say, Rostavan is in. Yeah, Rostavan. I almost said Rakote. What is wrong with me? Rostavan is injured.
We could start calling Rakote by his first name, which is Sean. So
Which is Rick.
Sean Rostavan Rakote.
It's Rick Cote.
he's like Nick Nolte, Rick Cote. Would you say Rastavan is injured?
Yeah, I will need fish to craft a tincture.
Kane, for my reference, can we do that off the Isle of Rats?
There are fish that can heal consequences. You'd have to roll lore to know where those are at.
Okay.
Or, sorry, fishing to know where that's at.
All right. Let me do that real quick. With tonight's rolls, it's gonna get fucking ready. It's gonna be.
And hold on one sec while I look at the sheet to figure
Yeah.
out what that should be, because we're getting into very specifics now.
Of course. You
Um,
want me to wait to roll, or?
Hold on. Yeah, this one might actually be a bit easier. Okay. I'm gonna set the challenge at a 2.
At a 2. Okay.
Yep. Okay. You know that the fish she is referring to is up here near the sky spigot.
All right.
There might be another one too, but let me check. That's what you know currently.
Okay. Rakote will sort of hold on. Oh my god, sorry. I felt like a fucking gastric distress in the bottom of my throat, and then it just stayed there and nothing happened. I was gonna fucking die. Yeah, Rakote will hear that. And what is this fish that's in the spy spigot?
I didn't spend the time to write like definitions for all 24 fish, so we can kind of play that up. In terms of what it would be, maybe some type of sea anemone that you can carve into, and there's kind of a sweet ichor inside of it that you apply, almost like an aloe.
Sure. All right. Well, it's by the sky spigot, so
It's a bit out of the way.
yeah. Well, I'm not going to call it the spigotus anemone. So, in lieu of trying to invent a fish name on the fly, Rakote will just say There is a fairly uncommon enemy northwest of here in the sky spigot. It's the nectar of which could be drawn from it. Could alleviate even the most grievous of wounds. And he'll sort of size you up, Rastavan. He'll say, what happened?
A dude punched me pretty hard.
A dude, Rakote will say. And
An
are you going to
Imperial.
try to not say who it was?
I can tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, it was an Imperial. Ow.
He, holding his little candle on his plate, will just sort of hold a stern look at that. And he'll say, and this Imperial, did you dispose of him?
No. Wasn't really in a position to.
Did he see where you went?
He saw I jumped into the water.
Very well. Rastavan, you will find the most comfort in my chambers. I will sleep out here tonight. If you are that injured, a mattress would do you better than the wire frame of a cot.
Nah, I'm gonna stick with a cot. I don't really do good in big beds.
Why does nobody ever want to sleep in my bed? Is it the horrible disfigured boils?
The mattress has so many holes in it.
Rakote's bed has an exactly Rakote-shaped brown stain through the whole thing.
How is the mattress that deep? It's incredible.
Uncomfortable working environment. Power dynamic. Not appropriate. Coercing employee into bedchambers.
He's got a point.
Sinful.
No. Nobody talks to HR but me. I have but one rule as captain.
We just had a small disagreement. It was just a small disagreement, really. I have no issues with that employee.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to start by saying, sorry, I promised I wasn't going to cry. He's got a little dog with him. I'd like to start by apologizing for my behavior.
Dog. Some more amicable.
That's me yelling. That's my favorite part.
There's Shaq. He'll kind of ward the candle into the direction of the other two of you.
I bite him.
What's that?
I bite him.
Oh, no, don't.
As soon as I am illuminated.
No biting. Yeah, he'll sort of ward the candle out to see who else has returned.
I like the shot of like because you're like on the ship, like your candle sort of only illuminates around you. You just like turn away, like the fucking pale lady's eyes catch like the distant like dog-like reflection, and then you just have fucking Crow who's like vaguely like translucent in the dark.
Yeah, you turn and light our corner, and what you get is a fucking shape of water fish monster and the human devil just standing slack-shouldered next to each other.
Rakote screams, runs into the darkness.
This is your life, he says.
The entirety of Davy Jones' crew is standing there. Just another starfish dude standing next to him.
Fucking crab guy.
Fucking hammerhead.
Classic hammerhead.
He just keeps spinning in a circle with the candle illuminating greater and greater horrors.
For no reason, keeps finding more and more. It's young Frankenstein. He's looking at the severed heads at the beginning with a candle.
This fucking creature from the Black Lagoon. He wards the candle out to see the two of you have returned. He'll say, and what if both of you were your endeavors successful?
Yes.
Aye.
Has anybody made any money?
No.
Yeah. We made money.
Triz got Air Jordans on.
Kane, when you said 2 sacks of 4, was that
Yeah.
automatically
I
to the whole group or to be dispersed? We keep mixing how this
yeah.
works.
No, I was gonna get down to that. I would prefer everyone gets 4 just to keep this moving. Like, I
Alright.
don't want levels to get fucked up and people are like, well, I got more money. Like, let's just everyone benefits for everybody else. So everyone
Crow
can add 4 crowns.
splashes a coin sack down on the table and just immediately walks away from it.
Rakote will pick it up, and he'll sort of start counting it. And as he's pacing and counting, he'll smile to himself and he'll say, "Very well done, gentlemen."
Perfect.
And yeah, that's honestly, I don't know if he's got more. He's not going to harangue these guys; they're exhausted.
Rastavan's going to trudge in his boots up the gangplank. Alright, if anyone needs me, I'll be suffering in some cot or something.
All right.
Crow feels fine. He looks down to I just picture Rakote as very small. You said he's like 6 feet?
I was gonna say it's funny. Rakote he's very large, but because he's hunched over, I feel like his head is probably, lower than Crow's eye line. But he's a big dude. He's his whole upper body is swollen, so he's been elevated quite a bit from his natural height.
So I look down at him, as I always do, in spirit. And Crow says,
Business opportunity.
Rakote will say, lucrative here or across the sea?
Parliament.
He'll respire and nod at that and say, all the more reason to get there faster. He'll say, yes. We will chart a course as soon as we can.
Did not inquire as to the details.
He'll kind of look up at that, and he'll say, does it really matter?
Thou art a worse businessman than anticipated.
He'll say, oh, no, I don't think so. You've managed to provide quite a considerable amount of coin. What I'm doing here is not poor business. Crow. I'm trusting you and Rastavan. But well enough. What of the details? What are you being paid?
Banker of Duke. Printing counterfeit. Press exists on Parliament.
He'll say, and who commissioned this job?
he's going to stare for a long time. And then just go with the person who employed him and say,
Michael Corrigan.
Would I be able to roll context to establish whether or not I've heard of this man?
Yeah, go ahead.
What would the challenge be?
Challenge of 2. You've been here before.
Wow!
The name Backwater Bruisers. That's it.
All right. He'll say, since I'm out of fate points, apparently, he'll say, not heard of this Michael Corrigan. But then again, I don't often get to the north. Very well. I'll say, and the job, exposing the banker, abduction. What is it you're meant to do?
Crow looks at him like it's obvious and says,
Print money.
I'll say,
Oh, you do like money.
Observed about the desirous of money.
Crow seems like if you like, he's like turns to the pale. He's like, I'm reaching out.
She will continue and say, "This would help in the robustness of your ship, yes. And we can sail the Siren Sea."
that it would, if we can get away with it. Yes. It sounds insane, but then again, so does walking alive from the shores of the Isle of Rats. Very well. Well met, Crow. You should rest.
He watches you.
Yeah.
He waits for you to rest.
He picks me up by the throat and says, "Rest is for the weak."
He looks delirious.
He's so tired. He's really sleepy.
Somebody just tell him to take a nap, please.
Yeah, I just
All right.
I go back to sit in the water.
Yep.
Rakote will look to you, pale lady, and almost a little bit in like a disappointed dad tone. Or actually, no, he didn't send you out to make money. He'll say,
No, I went to go talk to Carl Linnaeus.
Linnaeus, that's right. He'll say, and how was the professor?
She seems to be ringing dial-up noises as she stares at you. The little fins that seem decorative in the front of her cape, in air quotes, kind of move like a fish's would out of water. And then she says, "Wait, did you call him the professor?"
Yes.
Okay. "I did not see the professor."
He'll look up. He doesn't intuit it immediately. Let's just say, he may have already been out drinking then. Tomorrow. And then he'll turn and say, "Where did you go?"
I returned to him, the man at the estate.
He'll sort of clutch his cane, and he'll say, "And what did you find?"
A man willing to accept help.
Your kind of help.
Yes.
I'll say, probably for the best then. And he'll begin to turn like he's gonna go towards his cabin, but he'll stop and he'll look over his shoulder, kind of labored, and he'll say, "And what of the children?"
Did I see them while I was there?
You did not.
They were gone.
He will turn back around, and he'll go into his cabin without another word.
She'll let you go. And then after the silence sets in, she'll go find a place on the ship that's being repaired to just sing into the very early morning before she rests.
All right.
Keeping everyone up so they
Keeping everyone awake. Yeah.
There's a shot of Rastalon with a fucking pillow over his ears.
Yeah, cut to the "I can't sleep" meme with her singing in the background. Crying angry face guy meme.
Fuck. All right. So now we get to do a new little mechanic here.
The rats are coming back.
Found us.
is going to be a group roll. And that's just for your refresh. You basically refresh 1 less, 2 less for
Sure.
that day.
All right, so we're doing a group stealth, right? You said.
So it's either a group stealth or contacts. You guys can like add to each other. You cannot create advantages, but you could technically use fate points if you had them. The way this would work is Declan riled up a bit of trouble with the fisherman. That's 1 point. Both Crow and Rostavan were seen engaging with that kidnapping, so that's 2, 3. And then the Imperial is on your path, so that's a 4, challenge of 4.
Who has the highest stealth?
Me.
I think I was gonna say I think me and Declan might be tied.
What do you guys have, a 2 or a 3?
2.
3.
Okay, so Crow is
okay.
higher. So yeah, Crow's got the highest stealth.
And then Sean, do you have any stealth on your sheet?
No.
Nobody else has contacts, right?
No.
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 So it's either Declan. Oh well, then Declan rolls 3 with a +1. That's the best
Right.
roll.
Yeah, so he would roll a 4 stealth.
Yeah.
Well,
Everyone just refreshes 1 less fate point.
Okay.
And you
fuck
guys.
that. Who else wants to get? Fuck that. Who else wants to get in here and help?
I don't have any fate points, or I would.
They're all gone.
I also
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with Phantom of the Red Tide.
Okay, there you go. That's very lucky. I wasn't sure how many fate points existed in the group, but I will allow that. Okay. Perfect. Then due to your own kind of silent escape from your earlier predicament, Crow and Rostavan, you do not leave a path for the Imperial to follow and are able to sleep in relative safety.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, stop. Oh, stop.
And I think we'll take a break, but just to kind of lead into that, there'll kind of be a bright sun that has to filter through the humidity around it. I'm kind of intensifying the light upon all of you. But the sun and the morning has come to the Port of the Nameless. And there is only 1 day left that separates you from leaving this place far behind you. You can only upgrade while in a capital city, so that's either the Port of the Nameless or the Parliament of Pleasure. So today would probably be the day to level up. Otherwise, you're going to be holding on to those until the next time you arrive somewhere close.
How many do you need to level up?
Let me show you all that. Character upgrades. Boom.
Oh, here it is. I was trying
And
to
we
find
should
it
all
earlier.
have 19 right now, right?
Yeah.
I already spent some. So
I already
I'm
spent.
only at 9.
Oh shit. Okay. Well.
I'm at 19.
All right.
Okay, perfect. So, seems like 19 is it. So, I don't know. Take your break. If you think of your upgrades, if you have any questions, we can address that. And we'll pick up from there.